Welcome to another episode of Down the Barrel Podcast with Jimmy and Dino.
And sometimes Jared.
Fishing opener is coming up. What is it? Saturday, right?
Yeah.
The 10th, early.
Yeah.
Always on Saturday.
So today we're here with Craig Niemi with Minnesota Fishing Encounters Guide Service. I get that right?
A big mouthful, right?
Yeah,
there,
That's a lot.
Right.
But yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Craig.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So fishing.
Why
it's
guide
a
people?
pastime. It's my life. I love it.
Yeah.
So is hunting too. But yeah,
How long you been guiding?
next year will be 40 years. I just aged myself. I started in like 2, I think.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
40 years, huh?
Yeah. Year after I graduated high school, 1986.
And has it always been here in Minnesota, northern Minnesota?
It's always been. It started out on Leech Lake, pretty much. And then I do some smaller lakes over the years. I have now I'm starting into Winnie and Cass as well, being I live over here, and I do a bunch of tournament fishing as well. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
So have you done tournaments on Leech then?
Yes, I've done the Muskies Inc. tournament and some of the walleye tournaments and
Really?
different things over the years. Yeah.
And is Leech a good lake for muskies?
It's probably the top lake
Is
in the
it?
nation. for
Really?
muskies.
See, I did not know that myself.
I always, when I think muskie fishing, I think Wisconsin.
Really?
You know, and I think a lot of people do.
When I think muskie fishing, I guess I probably would think like deer.
Deer or even
Deer's pretty
relax.
There's a lot of lakes
Relax.
in Minnesota that they're introduced, but most of the fish that you find in those lakes are Leech Lake strain muskies.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, quite the muskie fishery.
You know, I used to live over by Leech, and I would go out at Federal Dam and, you know, fish that basin, or I'm not even sure what the name of it is, but then we'd go over to Wabu sometimes. That was always a real fun trip because it never failed. Going there was always smooth, but coming back was rough. And that's what led me to get my deep V,
Right.
because the bass boat just too many times of water on my feet. It's like, yep, nope, no more.
Right.
And I never did, of course, you know, I'm a really good fisherman. Not. I never really did that good at Leech. I always did better on Winnie or Island up by North Home.
Yep.
But never really did that good.
What
at
were
Leech.
you
But
fishing for?
The way I fish, everything.
Anything?
Anything that bites the hook. But I would try for walleye for the most part. And then we would go down, where do we camp? Stony. I would go down to Stony. I did
Which is on
decent
Leech.
down there, you know, but I don't know. Obviously, you know all about Leech.
There's a lot of water, and about 5% of it what holds fish. It's the
Yeah.
structure.
I figured
you,
that.
you need
Yeah.
structure, and you know there's a lot of flats and different things that aren't that good during certain times of the day.
So when does muskie opener? When is that? Because that doesn't open at the same time as fishing opener, right?
It's generally a couple weeks later.
Right. That's what I thought.
For years, you couldn't even keep one. Now I think if it's over 50 inches, you could keep one. Regulations change all the time. I can't even keep up with them. It's a lot of limits and this and that. But
Yeah.
Dean, you shouldn't have stopped at Federal Dam. You should have headed a little bit further south into Boy Bay, which is a battle point.
I know.
It's nice and calm, and it's full of fish.
Oh, and see, I was going to go out there one time, but it was really rough. And so then that's when we went down to Stony, just because of the way, you know,
was
I mean,
blowing or something?
everybody knows how big Leech is. One end's calm, the other end's just horrible. So, yeah.
Yeah, Battle Point never gets rough.
Really?
Because it's in
Okay.
Boy Bay, and it's shallow, and there's about a 300-acre wild rice bed that kind of blocks the wind, and it's just a good place to go in at and not
Nice.
get beat up. And if it's you could venture out on the lake, not very far, the big lake. If it might be rough, at least you're not going
Yep.
to be too far away from your landing. So
Yeah. I
Good
may
to
have
know.
to venture out there.
we will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to catch me a muskie. I've never caught a muskie.
I have never caught one either.
I just want to do some really good walleye fishing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. So what do you guide most of?
Mostly just catching fish. I get
Yeah.
a lot of people, diehard walleye people, and you got a blue sky, calm day. And I say, you know what? It's not conducive to catching walleyes.
Yeah.
Wait until later this afternoon in the evening we could get some. But how about let's go catch some pike or something.
There you
Next
go.
thing you
I
know,
love catching some pike.
next thing you know, some of these people, they don't even fish walleye anymore. You know, you
Right.
go about 70 pike, you know, and you got 12, 13 pound fish, and they're like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of
And then
those
show
people.
them how to take the Y bones out and stuff. And
Yep.
That's what I was going to ask too. So obviously you clean them as well for people,
Yep.
you know, normal. Okay.
Yep, I do the fish cleaning for them. I even do fish fries for them.
So when you guide, what's your normal guide trip look like?
On a full day thing, a lot of times what I do is I'll go out for the morning for like 4 hours, and then I'll go out for the evening for maybe 5 or 6 if I'm.
So you just meet your customers, guests, whatever you want to call them, at the landing.
At a landing, a lot of them go out of one of the Anderson resorts. My daughter owns Horseshoe Bay Resort, and then the ex-in-laws have 7 other resorts on Leech.
So you got good connections on Leech.
That's
what
why
you're
I
saying.
get into it. Yeah.
There you go. That'll do it. So you pick them up at the dock, and you ask them, "Hey, what are you guys thinking you might want to go after?"
Typically it's walleye. A lot of people, they want to catch walleye, and
That's the go-to.
and if you got decent wind during the morning or something, or if it's rainy or overcast, it's a little easier to get into them.
So you take them out, catch some fish, and then you bring them back and you clean them up. And
I clean them for them. And even, like I said, for a full day, a lot of times we'll take a break in the middle of the day, otherwise it gets too long. And typically I stay out longer than 8 hours.
Yeah.
I'll be out
really?
10,
Do you
11 hours,
ever do any like shore lunch or anything like that?
I used to always do it on Bear Island years ago, but I had a fish fly hatch happen that was just nasty and carrying all that stuff on the boat. And so I said, you know what, I'll do shore lunch, but it's going to be at our noon hour, and I'll do it in your cabin.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
There you go. Keep it comfortable.
Yeah, way more comfortable. And beers are in the refrigerator and stuff like that for people,
Valid,
stuff like that.
valid point.
There you go.
Valid point. Always cold in the
So my new
cabin.
boat has a cooler, a nice size cooler.
Yeah, and we saw that. The new boat is nice. So let's talk about the new boat. What'd you get?
It's a 17.5-foot Alumacraft, brand new, with 150 horse show 4-stroke Yamaha.
Nice.
And got a 9.9 kicker on it, and of course the bow mount trolling motor and Hummingbird helm, and which is getting upgraded actually to a touchscreen one here soon.
Yeah.
And the other one's going to go on the front of the boat and then the bow. So
Yeah, it's a fancy rig. I like it.
That thing was gorgeous.
It's comfortable. I'm jealous. I pulled my boat out the other day, and it's kind of sad.
I know a boat salesman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know a boat money giver guy?
And I tell you, your boat has some really cool new stickers on it too.
Oh,
does.
yes.
Yeah,
My
it does.
favorite ones.
Some of the best ones. We
are.
got to get you a few more coming up here too.
They got to go on the truck.
Yes,
I'll
there
put
you
them
go.
on the
Right.
truck. Yeah.
Yep.
And the stickers, I mean, MDHA stickers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big, beautiful white buck.
I think you're the only guide boat out there with MDHA decals on your
Or is
rig.
that-
If I see
unless
another
Rod
one, it
throws
will
them on.
sink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, I bet you are the only one right now.
Oh, we got to start a trend here.
Right?
There you go.
Should.
You need to support MDHA. So
Yeah.
Well, you support us, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
you support me, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
So it works.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So, wow, you've been guiding for quite some time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, how many days a year do you typically go out? I mean,
it'll be probably over 100 this year.
Wow.
Within a year or two, we'll be back up probably 150 or more. So,
Would you say the majority of those are on Leech?
yes, I'd say 95% are on Leech.
Really?
right
So
now.
you
Although
must
that's
know that
changing.
lake really well. And I would love, we have to go out on Leech.
oh, we do.
I've always wanted to get some fish there. I didn't even know they had fish there.
Well, in 39 years plus, it'll be 39 years of guiding, not one time I have not caught fish.
really?
Not once. So,
And they got some decent pike there.
yes, I got a 45 inch on the wall.
Wow.
And I got a 43 and a half inch
Nice.
that I've caught too. So,
Yeah,
That's
that's
impressive.
pretty neat.
just under the 40 inch mark.
Wow.
So
Is there a limit? Is like, what's the slot there for pike? Is there one?
it changes
I was
every
going
year.
to say, it
Does
probably
it?
changes.
Yeah. I'm getting old and I can't remember everything.
No, it's
But
totally
it's
understandable.
terrible.
Well, they change it,
It's-
like you said, every
yeah,
year. So.
Every different lake. I mean, some lakes, the northern is you got 10 pike you could catch. in the
Right.
northern lakes.
But they have to be
That's-
pretty small, those ones, right?
Yeah.
I think it's nothing
it's-
between 30 and 34 or something like
That's what
that.
I was
So
taught.
that's
Yeah,
the
it's
standard
like-
across the board.
It's crazy. You have to look at a book. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's
Mine's in the
certain
truck.
trophy lakes, I mean, that are in either the northern or the southern zone that you can't keep
Yep.
certain fish. You can only keep 3,
Book
and not,
right there.
not the 10.
That's hunting.
It's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I forget we're mainly hunting.
Yeah. So with doing it for that long, you've probably met all sorts of clientele and anybody like
Well, no.
famous, well known,
Oh,
or
I-
became famous.
The Linders, Al,
Yeah.
Ron Linder, and all that.
Really?
Yeah. Babe, I've ran into him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
They're down the barrel guys.
Jeremy Smith, he's on Linder's Fishing Edge or whatever.
Okay.
He's used to be a Leech Lake guide.
So they come to you and be like, hey, man, show us where the fish are so we can make a show kind of thing.
I'm working on it,
Right.
with Brian Brosdahl and Brett Amundsen and with Prairie Sportsman.
Cool.
You're working on it. You're making a show.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get them in the boat again. You know,
Do
that
it.
deal. So yeah.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Well, yeah.
Well, maybe at some point, like we said, DTP will be in the boat. We'll do a little show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do some videos.
Heck yeah.
Hope you guys
Jim.
got a wide angle lens for me.
Get Jim falling out of the boat.
Why do I got to fall? I mean,
I don't know.
for the show, I will. For the show, I will. I'll make it good too.
Yeah, right. I'll push you over the boat, over the edge.
I love how he asked the question we always ask. Why does he always have to be the one?
That's funny.
Willing to take one for the team, I guess.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool.
So outside of Leech, what's your second go-to?
Some smaller lakes around the Park
Just
Rapids area
randos?
that I grew up around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know them pretty well. And there's
So like
big
if you're out
trophy
on
fight
Leech, you're not catching much. You do have some backups.
I normally always catch some on Leech, so
Yeah.
I don't have to
Really?
leave the
It's
lake
such a big
normally.
lake.
But I just like to try other lakes too, and there's some
Yeah.
that I grew up around and some streams
Right.
that I grew up around. And
Yeah, I'm the
I have
same
a
way.
particular stream that I fish. I'll actually even name it. It's the Fishhook River that we pulled about 60 sunfish out between 9 and 10 3/4 inches.
Wow.
So I mean, some monsters. I mean,
So you're
fun like
fishing
that.
a river for sunfish.
Sight fishing them. I could see them.
Really?
You see the tips of the white tips of the walleye.
So
I
is,
see-
is the water moving pretty good, or is it
It's-
pretty
it's-
slow?
It's moving fairly good. Just crystal clear water. You'll see.
Are
catch
you
brown
fly
trout.
fishing?
No, slip bobber actually for the
Really?
sunfish and
Interesting.
crappies. And I've never gotten really big crappies, but it's got big brown trout in it. It's got
Really?
big, huge smallmouth, 21-inch smallmouth.
Personally, I love sight fishing with a 12 gauge.
You must like that front-facing sonar. That's kind of like gill nets and dynamite. That's what I call it. I was at the NBA, or not the NBA, but I was at the Menfish conference,
Yeah.
and probably about 85% of the people there are against front-facing sonar.
Really?
And I said I likened it to dynamite and gill nets.
Oh, see, I don't know anything about it. So
I
I
don't
don't have
either.
much.
I am yet to meet a fishing guide that is in favor of it.
Really?
Yep.
I know some muskie guys that were using it.
Who's buying all these things then? Because obviously
Consumers.
They're expensive. It's
One,
like $4,000 or $5,000.
they're expensive, and the guides don't like them. So who's buying them? And
People
Tournament
that,
fishermen.
People that suck
Yeah,
at fishing.
That's what I was
our
gonna
local
say.
guy that won the big bass tournament or whatever uses it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
really.
But
So what?
crazy.
I mean, I've never even seen one. So what are you looking at? I mean, what is it giving you? What's it doing?
It's front-facing sonar that you could see the fish on, and the bigger the fish, like muskie, you could see they're huge. It's like a billboard. So
Yeah.
you got people that normally, if you catch 3, 4, or 5 muskies or someone really good, maybe 10 in a week if you have a really good week, they're catching 60, 70 muskies.
Wow. So how is it different than side scan sonar? I'm ignorant,
It's just,
so I don't know.
it's just a way better technology
Is
to
it?
see,
Is it?
to see stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Because I have honestly never even seen an example of it, so I have no idea.
yeah. I'm definitely against it. I think it's going to hurt the resource.
is
It's like
it?
shining deer, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe they should make a rule, something like if you're using that, you don't get to keep any fish.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they're pulling these muskies and stuff out of deep water or walleyes out of deep water, 30 feet plus, and they're killing them. So you got all these
okay.
floating 20-year-old fish.
Well, that's not good.
And it's not good.
Yeah, and I don't have enough information to make an opinion on that.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen it?
Not in person. No.
Not in person,
I
no.
just saw an ad though, commercial. Can't remember if it was Hummingbird or Garmin. They were advertising their new, forward-facing sonar, and it showed like an animation of how it works.
Okay.
And I mean, just seeing that, you can see how lethal it is.
Really?
It literally, like they showed like a spotlight shining underwater, and like it just pinpoints right where the fish is, the depth, the location,
And it shows the fish.
put your hook
more or
there.
less.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
There goes my Hummingbird sponsorship. Sorry, Hummingbird.
Well, we'll say it was Garmin. I don't know. I don't know who it was.
Could have cut that part out.
Somebody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was somebody. Gotcha.
Somebody, something.
Yeah.
So your favorite fish to catch?
Northern pike.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
just
my
numbers
man.
you could
Yeah.
catch.
That's
and they're
my man.
They're
Yeah.
so fun. And there's
Yeah.
a good battle. You get a 10, 12 pound fish.
Delicious.
And they are. To me, they're the best table fare there are for fish. to
They
eat.
are.
As soon as you know how to handle those Y bones, they will be your
I
favorite
will
fish.
be
And I learned
showing
that
you.
this winter with the fish caught at your place.
Yeah.
That was my best one ever cleaned.
When I first started guiding, I used to argue with an old friend of mine. I'd say walleye are better. He'd say no, pike are better. Walleye are better. But a month later, I'm eating some crow and telling, hey, Roger, you're right. Pike are better. So I even pickled 8 quarts of Y bones. I saved them and pickled them.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh, I still little strips.
Just the Y bones I'd saved them. So
I suppose. So can you eat them whole then once they soften up like that?
oh yeah, you could. Yeah, of course. That's just like they always when you pickle fish, you leave all the bones in.
Right.
So
That's
you
what I
might take
thought.
the rib bones out, but you'll take everything else will leave.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had pickled fish myself because I know my grandparents used to do it all the time. They used to pickle northerns all the time.
I've had pickled northern. It's pretty good.
Is it?
Love it.
Yeah.
It's way better than the herring.
But yeah, I mean, there's no denying walleye's a delicious fish, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, they're all good.
But have you ever had, a mushy, fishy tasting walleye?
No.
I've had a mushy tasting everything.
I've never had a mushy, fishy pike.
No.
I haven't either.
Not once in my life. And I've eaten
Bass.
all
Yeah,
sizes of pikes.
Right.
Poorly cleaned bass could get really fishy tasting.
I love bass. That's my favorite.
Bass too.
You take the smallies are better than the large ones.
I like them all.
They are.
But northern pike is probably ahead of that for me just because they're fun to catch.
Oh yeah. Smallies are fun though.
Oh, they are.
Big
I love
smallmouth are
smallies.
But
so
a big,
fun.
big pike on there and you're lifting it. Oh, man.
I think
You're
the
getting me
biggest,
excited.
the biggest smallies that my dad and I were up on Island Lake at my North Home. And it was almost like sight fishing because that water is so clear, and it was great. And I don't know where the pictures are, but we had some really nice ones on there.
Yeah.
It's like a leech. I do a lot of casting and stuff, and you'll see the pike follow up to the boat. The ones that don't even get on the hook, and then a lot of them that you do get to see them hit because they like to hit right at the edge of the boat, and they see the boat and they'll grab it or something.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, that's
that
part of the
is-
fun.
that
For
is
walleye,
fun.
that's typically not what you'll see. You can see smallies do the same thing.
Yeah,
Right to the boat.
walleye is what you see is your rod tip. Boom, 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 boom. That's the exciting part about
And-
walleye fishing to me.
I always had issues with the damn perch off a federal dam. You get into it's like, okay, I think we're in the walleyes, and then perch.
Yeah.
Right.
And just the little guys too. It's like just annoying. They take your minnow or
I'm
whatever
not a
you
perch guy.
Pull a big
Those fighting
crankbait or something, then you have to worry about the perch.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No. I think pike is the most exciting fish in Minnesota. I mean, obviously muskies are great, but you got to find them.
It's a lot more work for the muskies
is.
for sure. It's fun.
And you can keep more of the pike.
Yeah.
And you can actually eat them.
Depending on where you are, yeah. But where we are, we can keep 10.
We can keep 10.
And it's the northern zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although I will say in the last year, I've kept 1.
Yeah. I've kept more than that, but not that many.
I honestly, the lake that I used to fish on a lot down by where we lived, you'd always catch them hammer handles.
Well, yeah.
And so it's like, nope, they're getting chucked out because they piss you off more than anything.
Right, right.
Well, I just came off of, world-class spearfishing winter.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I mean, we pulled multiple 35 to 38 inch fish.
I don't know. Did you ever see
house.
anything under that?
134.
Local lake?
Yeah.
What's that?
Local lake?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a private lake.
Oh, private one. Yeah, there's
Yeah. But yeah, it was amazing. And I still have a 37 inch in my freezer that's gutted and ready for the smoker once it warms up here.
Smoked northern, huh? What flavor are you going with on that?
Keep it simple. Just do it like you would do a salmon almost.
I had some salmon the other day that was not good, so don't say that.
I've got some salmon I need to smoke.
yeah.
I did. I smoked some on my grill. First time ever. I don't think anybody ate it except for the dog.
Did you clean
what'd
the
you
grill
use?
after you smoked that skunk?
Oh, you're supposed to clean it after skunk smoking?
I thought that was part of the smoking.
It's like a good
That's
cast
aromatic.
iron. You never clean your grill.
Yeah, it's seasoned.
Well, what'd you use to smoke it with?
What kind of flavor?
yeah,
I do the
flavor,
competition blend. Kind of covers everything.
Okay. I think when I smoked, when we came back from Superior and I smoked that, I'm trying to think. I know I rubbed some kind of dry rub on it, and I want to say I used cherry. I thought
Really?
could be wrong.
And the salmon I smoked came from Alaska.
You know what? I use apple.
Were you guys using chips or pellets?
I use pellets.
I use chips.
Yeah, I use real wood that I split by hand.
Actually, it was
That's a real
wood.
man right
It
there.
was wood in a
We've-
bag.
You've done that with yours.
I've done that
I can't
too.
do that with mine.
Yeah.
Red oak is really good for smoking.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Red oak is
I
excellent.
think I use.
I heard Tay Elder's really good. Okay, I made that up.
I had it.
Oh, God. Well, I'm gonna put in a little plug for Traeger here.
Oh, of course. Traeger, if you're here listening to this,
That's right.
We could use a sponsorship.
Well, no, but you know, Traeger has their own spice blends that they
Right.
put out there now.
Right.
You got to try the fin and feather next time you do chicken or fish.
Yeah.
Just load it up with the Traeger fin and feather. It will
Really?
change your world.
Really? Is that
It's
what
so
you're going to
good.
use on the pike that you're going to smoke for us?
No, I'm gonna just use some like maple syrup and some salt.
Well, I always like maple syrup. That's a go-to for me. Maple syrup.
Yeah,
Real maple syrup that I get from my trees. That's a real man.
yeah. I'm not gonna do all that.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm gonna go to Super One.
That's not real maple syrup. Unless you buy the real stuff.
Yeah,
like
buy the
Fidelity's
local.
or something.
Yeah, I'll buy that. What is it? Hamels? Is that what it's called?
Get some Fidelity's.
Minnesota maple syrup.
Yeah, it's not Canadian.
Yeah, no, I would never buy anything from Canada. I hate that
You
country.
shut your mouth. That's for Katie.
Oh, boy.
Right?
Yeah. Canada, they love being this hippie, peaceful country, and pretty easy to do that when you got a Kevlar blanket called America surrounding you.
Wow.
I like it.
I like their fishing and hunting, so I'm going to stay on their good graces. I love you, Canada.
That's funny.
I love Tim Hortons too. I used to have one by my house, believe it or not, in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about Canada. Let's get back to
we've
Craig.
taken
Yeah,
a
right.
turn here.
Yeah, this took a weird turn.
So you never guide ice fishing?
I haven't, but I am next year. I actually will be.
Really?
I
Okay.
always used to just take people out, mainly friends. But
Yeah.
now I figured one will feed the other.
There you go.
And I always had it work because I've always been able to catch fish in open water that you can't guarantee that through the ice. And that's what always held me off as maybe stupid pride. I don't know. But I think it'll help, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one good thing about ice fishing is drinking.
But, yeah, keep it ice. Just watch out for the yellow stuff on the corner of the fish.
Yeah,
I
right.
think that's illegal nowadays, isn't it?
Pretty much.
You know you're having a good time when your biggest concern is your beer getting too cold.
My beer is frozen. Damn it.
Yeah.
You got to put your beer on your Mr. Buddy heater to thaw it out.
I am not going to say that we haven't done that.
We've
at least
all
a
done
few
that.
times.
Quite a few times.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
that's a Minnesota problem, I
The
think.
worst was
right.
walking out, and it freezes as you're walking out, still drinking. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't even drink half of my can because it's frozen.
Yep.
It happens
Yeah.
when you open it. Actually, it'll freeze.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not out until you open it.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's like, really? This is ridiculous. And
Yeah.
we're out here ice fishing,
Right.
and then somebody's heater wouldn't start.
And then all the carbonation's out.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to put it down to work on the heaters,
Right.
and it freezes.
So with ice fishing,
Are we
obviously
talking
still.
ice fishing? It's fishing.
Well, I was just going to ask him about
I
ice
know.
fishing. So will you still hit Leech, or do you have?
Leech, but a lot
other
of
lakes?
small lakes in the
Yeah.
for the
Right,
ice fishing for
yeah.
panfish and stuff, and,
Yeah.
and spearing and whatnot. But
Yeah.
and hopefully this year I'll be running a couple ice castles and renting them out and trying to get them
that'd be
into a
cool.
good spot and
Yeah.
tell people it's just hard to guide through the ice because
Yeah.
typically you move a lot on open water. I can always find fish.
Well, it's a lot
always.
easier to move.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So it's a little bit of work.
So on your typical day on Leech, you go out and you'll say you're pike fishing. How do you do?
I had a good friend of mine one day. We were back in Boy Bay. We quit counting at 77 pike, just the two of us, and I thought we caught over 100. But it's pretty easy. It's easy to get limits, and then there's some nice fish.
Yeah.
Some nice fish in there.
So you can just go out and fish for hours if you're not keeping, right?
Yep. Just catch and release. I'll keep a limit or something, or what I'm going to eat them. I give some
Enough
away
for
to
dinner, yeah.
Yeah.
some old friends or something.
So when you're not guiding, are you fishing kind of all the time, every other or a few times a week?
There's a lot of times I'll come off the lake from guiding a full day, and I'll go out like with my daughters or a friend.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
because I love to fish.
Wow,
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Sounds like a hard life there, Craig.
You know,
it's tough, but someone's got to do it. And take one for the team here.
Right.
I'll put on a 12, 15-hour day fishing.
Right.
Yeah.
God,
Sounds
that
good to
must
me.
Suck.
All right, so you're on Leech. You're targeting big pike. What's going on the end of your line?
You can't get them anymore except through eBay. It's called Loco Lures. My two biggest pike, a 45-inch and a 43.5-inch, were on a size 3 local lure made by Lure Jensen, or Glenn Evans made them too before that. You could get them at eBay.
Dean. Here we go. Oh, that's a wrong one. Where's my thing? Is this it?
I think it's orange.
Is it orange? Oh, that's applause.
Oh, there you go.
Dean.
Google shit.
Did you say Loco?
Loco.
LOCO Lure Jensen.
I hope you're selling
that's
them.
Spanish for loco.
There is a company now making a knockoff of them that does work. It's just not as good as the originals, but they do work.
You said Lure Jensen, right?
Yep, Loco Lures, eBay. You'll find them.
There it is.
So that's like some type of spoon or something?
It's a spoon, yeah. And the
there's
two
one.
big pike that I caught were both on a size 3 blue and silver.
That's just a regular silver one.
I like it.
Wow.
All right.
So there you guys go. You got yourself a
Kinda
hot
looks like a
tip for
little,
Leech Lake.
Right?
Loco
There
Lures.
we go.
Kind of looks like a little metal shad almost.
So we need to buy like a bunch of those and put them up for sale.
Right?
Yeah.
They want a fortune for it. They want a fortune for them, I've seen.
Really?
So, yeah.
Yeah, these
Sometimes.
ones are, I don't know, it looks like there's 3 of them for like $22, something like that.
That's not bad.
No, that's not too bad.
Are they coming from China or?
It might be Glen Evans, which is older spoon stock.
These
which is
are
good.
the Glen Evans. These are the vintage.
Oh, so the real ones probably.
Yeah.
And Lure Jensen's real too.
Are they?
But
Yeah. That's
there's a
pretty
company
cool.
that's they say on eBay loco type lures. And they work. I've bought them. I mean, if you can't find nothing else, they do work.
Yeah, never seen anything like that.
No.
That's pretty neat.
I might have seen one, but I don't think I've ever used one.
Yeah, I haven't either. So, walleye fishing. What you go to? Of course, probably
Depends
I know it
on early on in
depends.
the season. It'll be jigs and minnows along shorelines, slip bobbers along deep weed lines along the shoreline too. It works
Okay.
pretty good. Summer, I like to pull cranks across rock piles, especially in late afternoon and past it dark.
Yeah.
That's where I get my big girls.
Really?
So I don't even have a count of how many walleyes over 27 inches I've caught.
Really?
Wow.
My biggest being 32 and a
Yeah.
bunch of 29 and 3/4.
So when you're doing that, you're ripping those across the rocks, midday, late day. Do you have to filter out the smallies too?
Yeah, I'll get a mixture. I'll get a mixture of smallmouth, walleye, a few pike sometimes. I get muskie. One of my biggest, I got a 53-inch muskie on 8-pound test line and a little shad wrap
Really?
perch.
Jeez.
That sounds
That's
like fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many muskies I've caught that way too. It's been
Yeah.
several. Just, it's kind of fun.
So you ever get any guests that come out and say, "Hey, I want to catch some panfish"?
Yeah, I get people that want to
Yeah.
catch the crappies in the spring when they see them coming into the
Yeah.
live tank or something. They say, "I want to get them."
Yeah. How about sunnies? Can you get sunnies on Leech?
Yep.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one time I was back in this Boy Bay here. I'm giving them a plug.
Right.
And I was casting spoons for pike, that same size 3.
Yeah.
A great big bull sunny, probably 11-inch one. Caught. I didn't even measure the thing back then. This is quite a while ago. I caught it on a spoon. It was protecting the spawning beds. And so I had some crawlers in, so I switched over to slip bobbers and pulled a bunch of them off the beds.
Nice.
Way back in there.
Those things are fun to catch too, especially
Yeah.
those aggressive ones.
Big
They're like
ones, yeah.
little piranhas.
I think my biggest crappie was on Leech over on Waboos.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
We regular every year get some 15 inches out of where I go. So
Yeah. I want to say it was 13, something like that. But yeah, I like to fish Leech. I just don't know how to fish it very good. So
I have never, I don't think, fished unless we did when we were camping.
we did the one time, but
We weren't very serious.
No, because we had all the kids with us.
Yeah, and they're like, "Let's jump off the boat.
Yeah. So after about 5 minutes, we're not catching anything. It's like, we want to jump off the boat. It's like,
Get out."
yep. There goes our fish. And we've never had the opportunity to
No,
fish it,
never. I haven't.
So that's the problem.
that is coming soon.
Yes.
Yeah. You got the
Yeah.
boat
It's
here
work.
with
It's
you?
work.
Right? You got
It's
the
work.
boat in the parking lot?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm probably gonna
We'll
do
see you
that.
next week.
And that's a wrap.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So are you booked up pretty well for the season?
It's coming. It's
Yeah.
because I was down in Mississippi for a couple of years. It's kind of like a rebuilding process, but
Okay.
it's coming pretty quick. So
Speaking of Mississippi, did you guide down there?
that was a plan at one point, and
Yeah.
the fishing like offshore was not that great.
Okay.
The brackish water coming from, they changed the Mississippi flowage.
Yep.
And so it was really not as good as it could have been.
Oh,
Gotcha.
you didn't want a guy in the mud water.
Not really.
No, I don't want you.
And I missed home.
I get
I
that.
got the grandkids and the
Right.
parents and
Oh, it's a
So,
different
yeah.
beast down there in Mississippi, that's for sure. So one thing we've been wanting to do is do a crawfish boil.
Right.
Did you experience that at all?
I've experienced that on Leech.
Oh, really?
Really?
We got plenty of crawfish on Leech.
Like leech crawfish.
Yeah, they're good size. They're the same as down south.
Really? How'd you get them?
Flashlight by the docks.
Oh, you went and
They're-
got them yourselves.
we'd boil 5 gallons of the things at a time. It'd take about 15 minutes of a few people with nets.
Well,
at the docks.
Huh, that sounds
We could do it.
interesting.
We
I
could do
think
that.
we're doing a
Once
full day
again, we should end the
trip and-
podcast here.
Right?
We're going to Leech.
Yeah,
We're going
because I
like
just
fishing and they were getting some crawfish.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I just got this big pot. The wife got me for my birthday, so because we're doing a crawfish bowl at some point.
Yeah, we are.
I didn't know we could just go get a bunch from that leech.
I don't know either.
Just with the flashlight by the docks and the rocks.
I mean, I see them all the time. You know, that the seagulls and stuff are picking them apart and all
Right.
that, but
Yeah.
they're smarter than I am.
We did it. So we used to do a trip up the North Shore every summer. And I can't remember which river we were on. What's the one that goes right through Finland there?
Is it the baptism river?
I think it is the baptism.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were catching all these crawfish and we decided to boil a few of them. And it was a lot of work to get like
It is
just enough meat to like go between your teeth.
sometimes.
But they didn't taste bad.
No.
They taste the same to me. I've had them down south and had them up here.
Really?
No.
Same thing.
I don't even know if I like them, but I've always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a shrimp.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I can have
attribute
shrimp.
to. As long, if you can eat shrimp, you can eat crawfish.
Yeah, I can eat shrimp.
Yeah. It is.
A bug's a bug.
Yep. It is a little more work. You know, that is a thing to where I think you've got to eat quite a bit
Yeah.
to make it work.
Well,
But,
especially Minnesota ones, I would imagine.
yeah.
Leech has got some big
Really?
fish. Yeah, there's some big ones.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I
I've eaten
didn't realize that.
Meat out of the claws, even. So
Really?
Wow.
breaking
Wow.
out, you can suck 'em out of there.
Jeez.
So there's,
Well, we might have to try that. A good old fashioned northern Minnesota boil.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
Straight from Leech.
Yes.
So
What we got to do is
That'll be the episode name. Straight from Leech.
straight out of
Dean's
Leech.
close enough to be in Cajun.
Pretty close.
It's the closest we got here.
Right?
well, we got to go out and harvest some of that wild rice too. Throw that
I
into our
love me
crawfish
some wild
boil.
rice. I love
Do
me
a
some
real
wild rice.
Leech Lake meal.
Then you could do kind of a gumbo.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
What other meat would you put in there, though? If it's
Boudin.
Yeah. We can make some of that.
from northern Minnesota.
Do some like venison sausage.
Ooh, now you're talking.
There you go.
You know,
That would work.
Yeah.
spice it up like an andouille sausage.
There you go.
Damn it. Now y'all making me hungry.
You know, right? I don't even know I like this stuff, but I want to eat
You
it.
do. You do. You've had gumbo.
Oh, I've had gumbo. I love gumbo. but
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't know if I like Leech Lake gumbo, but I'll give her hell.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
Right. Might get the Leech Lake squirts after that.
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
Oh God, something's gonna be leeching. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Leech Lake wild rice.
So
chicken wild rice soup.
Right? Nothing wrong
We
with
get
that.
chickens on
Made
Leech Lake.
Well, no. Got the rice from Leech Lake.
Yeah.
Or at least it was labeled Leech Lake
You get
wild
some
rice.
Leech Lake
Right,
pike,
go.
get some Leech Lake rice, get some Leech Lake crawdads, crawfish, whatever we're calling them.
Mud bugs.
Mud bugs. See, I always grew up, when I grew up, they were crawdads.
It's the same. It just depends where you live.
I know, right?
Yep.
What'd you guys call them?
Crawfish.
Crawfish?
Crawfish.
I
Actually,
call-
crayfish.
I call them
Yes,
crawdaddies.
a lot of
Crayfish.
crayfish.
Maybe that's a southern thing. I don't know where I picked it up, but
Togo.
that might, that could be.
They have mud bugs down south where they actually come out of the soil of the ground where they'll make
Yeah.
a big mound, and it's not the same thing as the crayfish.
Right. No.
But they look just the same.
Yep.
I don't live down there.
6-inch mound on top.
Too many things down there trying to kill you.
Right? Too many bugs.
Just the people down there will try to kill you.
It's not even the people I'm worried about. It's the bugs. And snakes, spiders.
You know.
I got a great big bass down there, 25 and 3/8 inch. It's on my wall.
Yeah.
So it's like 12
On
pounds.
Mississippi or what?
In Mississippi, out of a farm, out of pond.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
My wife, probably a month and a half before, caught a 23 and 5/8 inch, And here I'm wading in the water with the net, and she's like, "What are you doing?" She's all worried about the cottonmouth,
Oh,
I
yeah.
suppose. I suppose.
Then it's just, I said, I just wonder what they taste like too.
Have you had gator?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, I've had snapping turtle, gator, frog legs. It kind of all tastes similar.
Yeah.
Fishy dark chicken meat.
Yep,
Fishy,
pretty
dark, and
much.
muddy.
Yep,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I don't think I've ever had snapping turtle.
Yeah,
I've never had snap
delicious.
turtle. I've tried
The rest,
gator
though.
jerky, which
Tried what?
Gator jerky, but that doesn't count because
Now I got to bring pickled pike in here and some snapping turtle.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to bring it down.
I need snap turtle.
Oh yeah.
that would be cool.
Snapping turtle is very good.
Is it?
Yes, it's awesome.
I know
It's one of my
turtle's
favorite.
supposedly good because I mean some of the older guys that used to go to the boundary waters before I started, they always used to find and make turtle soup or something up there.
I like it fried,
Yeah,
deep fry it, and then stick it in a crock pot to finish it to get to the texture that you want because it's a little bit tough and stringy when you fry it right away, flash fry
yeah.
it.
They'd get excited when they saw a snapper. They'd get excited for not the same reasons I did. They're like, that's cool. Look at that thing. They'd be like, yeah, we're gonna eat that thing.
I do appreciate when my food comes in its own bowl.
That is handy,
It's like so generous.
right? Saves money for sure.
Yeah, so we definitely took a turn in that.
We always and we
Yeah, what
apologize.
were we talking about again? Who's here?
I think we were talking about fishing,
Right? We're talking about
Fishing,
fishing. Yeah.
Yeah. Craig takes people fishing, right?
Apparently.
Yeah, on Leech. Minnesota Fishing Encounters.
Guide service.
Guide service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got your nice boat. We've talked about lures. Do you have like a go-to rod and reel combo to kind of mix it up? Because obviously,
Or does it
you've
matter?
had
I normally spend on like the mid range at the most because
Yeah.
your graphite blanks are from a G Loomis to a St. Croix to just even a lightning rod by Berkeley. There's not a lot of difference, but
Yeah.
except the price.
Yep.
Right.
So you got a $40 rod up against a $240 rod. There's not a whole lot of difference.
Yeah.
You just want a good sensitive graphite and a decent Shimano reel or
Okay.
or some or presidential series, a Fluger or something that's decent. Doesn't have to be over $70-$80 at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your customers, do you provide them with rods and reels?
If needed.
If
yeah,
needed?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of tackle because
Okay.
normally they won't have in their tackle boxes
Right.
what you need.
What you need.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I've got the president reel and everything through Fluger and the rod, and then I don't have. I've got a couple Berkeleys. The ones that I miss are the Gander Mountain rods.
yeah.
Those are some of my favorite, and still are my favorite rods ever.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. They
yeah.
are nice.
And Shimano reels, I
I've always been
pretty
Shimano
much
fan.
Shimano's.
do the Shimano. I've got a couple different of the
I believe
variations,
so.
but
I like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask for a friend. Do you take the fish off the hook?
I do, even for people that are really good at it. I normally I'm handling the fish, netting them and grabbing them out for them.
Even those slimy muskies and northerns?
Yeah, yeah. Normally a muskie, I'd never net them. I hand grab them.
Okay.
Really?
I'll tail them and hand grab them, gill them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Good.
good.
Finally, after all these years, last year I ended up with a hook in my hand. I was out with my
Ouch.
wife and a friend of mine. And,
Was it bad or
No, I don't. It didn't bother me too much.
did you have to go to the ER?
I had to fish the next day. Why would I go to the ER?
Ripped her
but
out.
anyway, so my wife got a 25.5-inch walleye, and so her biggest walleye at the time. So I grabbed it out of the net, and then the front hook on the shad wrap was in the mouth, and the other one was dangling, and it didn't even slip in my hand, but just flop, and it embedded the bottom hook into my hand. So I cut it off with the side cutters, and it sucked itself into my hand. It was in there for 5 months before I got it out. I took it out myself.
That seems like a while.
Yeah. Wow. It started working its way out. So
Yeah.
I tried pulling out. It had a callus there, and it was that's kind of a little bit uncomfortable. So then I put a Band-Aid and kept it wet until it made the skin soft of the callus and pulled it out.
The hazards
But,
of being a
I
fishing guide, I guess.
But all those years, only one time.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
How much? So I, back in the day, worked at a summer camp, and fishing was always such a popular program for the kids to sign up for. And God, I dreaded being put in charge of running fishing because you spend the entire day untangling lines. How much of that do you have to deal with?
It's normally not too bad. Normally the parents don't bring the kids.
Yeah.
This is their time.
Smart parents right there.
I don't know.
And then it's normally I'll train kids how to fish too. A lot of times you'll see people with their spinning reels on and they got the handle on the wrong side.
Right.
If you're right-handed, it should be on the left side, guys. So if you do, go to the other
I
side.
guess I'm going to have to look them on.
I'm
Yeah.
backwards because
So
mine's
on your spinning rod
my spinning rod.
is on the left.
No, I do this, but I'm right-handed.
It should be on the left.
I know, but
I'm
that
right.
feels so weird to
I'm
me.
right-handed
strong
too,
I'd have
but
to
yeah,
do like
strong on
this.
the left.
But you got to
Yep,
cast with your right hand.
I know I switch.
Yep. Yeah.
And the bait casters are on the right.
I've never hated you more than I hate you right now.
Hey, at least I don't hold it upright.
That's true. I hope. I've never open water fished with you guys.
Well, we're gonna this year.
Yeah.
'Cause I know where I'm
You
going.
did once
When?
When?
last July on your little boat.
Oh
Yeah, we did. Yeah, kind of like when you had your kids out there. We weren't really trying all that hard.
No,
we weren't.
We're just trying to make sure the boat didn't sink.
enjoying the scenery.
Right.
Yeah, it was glorious.
So is it mainly spinning reels or do you have bait casters?
I have bait casters for a muskie.
Yep,
And
okay.
I use them. Then sometimes I'll use them for pike just for fun. But
Yeah.
normally it's a spinning rod that handles 10, 12 pound test lines.
Right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Normally I can land about anything with 10-pound test line.
Yeah. I don't even know what I put on mine anymore. I need to redo all mine. They're horrible.
Well, I usually put something on my bait casters I can horse through a stump if I need to.
Yep.
And then my lighter rods, I take it easy on those ones.
What do you guys run
Maybe
for bait
6.
casters? Do you
I run the old Abu.
6,500,
Yes,
5,500?
you
Those
can.
are the best.
I love them.
That's
I
what
literally
use.
have one that was ran over. It's missing part of the handle. And I finally retired it last year after about 25 and upgraded to the same thing as they got.
Yep.
This
Way
thing.
less backlashes. And
I
a lot
love
easier
those
to get
things.
out. Yeah. I
Love
won't run
them.
a small bait caster. Never.
It's like
I've had like 5 or 6 and keep giving them away.
Yeah,
I hate them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
I
like a
think
mini winch.
I think I've got one of those, and then, gosh, I can't think of what my other ones are.
Yeah.
I know one rod and reel, my one bait caster was a walleye edition. I got it Reed's many, many years ago, and honestly, I don't even know what bait caster's on it, but that is one of my favorite bait casters too. It's really nice.
I'm pretty proficient, but I don't want to spend. There's hard to dig a rat's nest out of a small bait caster. It's hard to get your
impossible.
fingers in there.
With those Abus, you can
You
just
can get them on.
Yeah.
you can get them out,
easier.
and those things will last forever, and they can horse in some big fish.
Yep. And for a bass one, just get the smaller size, the 5,500 instead of
Yeah.
the 6,500. And that still works for muskie too. It's kind of an in-between rod pretty well.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I do typically use my bait casters for when I'm bass fishing a lot,
Right.
and then I'll use my spinning reel just every now and then. Just depends what I'm fishing with too.
And Jared, there's nothing wrong with the Zebco 303.
That's I'm
202.
just confused.
202.
Just a little push button.
I love them, honestly.
Yeah, I've got a little. It's Ariel from the Little Mermaid.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I use.
Boom.
I started my kids with a spinning reel. They never got one of the.
It never got one of those push, but yeah.
Never.
Oh, the Johnson Country Mile. I grew up on those things.
There's some of them that are actually better with the side star drags on them.
Oh,
and stuff,
yeah.
But they're still not.
To me, they're
Yeah.
a classic default.
Yeah.
I think Aiden probably had one, and then I got him right into a spinning.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, my oldest is using. He's 4. He's using the spinning reel now, but
They actually can learn it just as fast as the other
for
ones.
sure.
You just,
Right.
just give it
the little ones, they have those. I mean, growing up, it was like the Lion King push button
Yeah.
rods, and they'd get tangled all the time. Well, now they have those tangle free ones. Have you seen those?
No.
I have.
They're pretty sweet for
Yeah.
little 2-year-olds.
How do they tangle free?
They like don't even open. Like so, the line actually goes through the rod. Like there's no eyelets or anything.
Yeah, I've seen
Okay.
that.
It comes out the rod tip, so there's no line exposed anywhere.
Yep.
Well, that's kind
It's
of
pretty cool.
And I obviously everybody, Jared says, when he was a kid, they had Lion King. He's a lot younger than the rest of us in the room. We never had Lion King growing up.
I meant Disney, but yeah,
I had Zebco 303s, dude.
I think that's what this was. It was just the Lion
I had
King
a case
edition.
hole.
Yeah.
I didn't have
I
to
had
have
one of
That's
those,
how old I am.
And actually, I think I had a Power Rangers one.
You would.
Yeah, right.
What color?
Oh.
What color?
At least it wasn't
What
Barbie.
color?
Color Power Ranger.
Oh, I was all about Jason, the red one.
The red one.
ones.
And then Tommy was the green one who turned white.
I was going to say, I thought Tommy was white.
You guys
He
will-
started
was
out
a-
green and then he
okay.
died and came back and was white.
See, he knows the whole story.
Dude,
I wouldn't let my
lived
kids
and
watch
breathed
that
Power
stuff.
I
Rangers.
never watched it either, but
Yeah.
I know there was different colors.
If you grew up in if you were a 90s kid, You had a crush on Kimberly from Power Rangers. She was the pink one.
I was
It's like probably my first crush.
I was like an older 90s kid.
Yeah. I mean, we grew up in the 90s, but
High school.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this was not high school.
Yeah, was it elementary for you? Middle, maybe at the worst.
Those are the first years.
My formative years.
Yeah. It's sad.
But anyways,
Straight
what are we here for again today? Talking about Power Rangers and crawdads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going fishing with Craig on Leech Lake.
That's right.
Yes. Very
I am
soon.
so looking forward to it. It'll
Oh,
be
it's
fun.
going to be a blast. I've never been out on Leech.
We
So.
may be swimming back because
That's all I've
you
ever
guys
done
are
on
out.
Leech is swim.
Right?
Because I'm not taking you guys any further. We'll just drop you off at Bear Island. Good luck.
Man.
So when's the best time to go to Leech fishing for some pike?
Anytime.
I
Anytime.
like that answer.
Great answer.
That is a great answer.
Openers typically really good. I just said that wrong. You might have cut that one out.
Oh, no.
I'm not even drinking.
So your average season obviously starts opener. How long do you go? I mean, do you do a lot of fall? Does it kind
I
of
get quite a few fall trips as well.
Okay.
Yeah. You got
Yep.
serious fishermen that want to fish. They'll fish
Right.
in the cold.
Is it kind of slow in that August time or end
We
of
do
July?
get a slowdown.
Kinda?
Yeah. And the water heats up and the oxygen levels go down, and you got to move a little slower.
Yeah.
The bait's a little slower.
Right. Everybody wants to
weeds.
just jump in the lake.
I hate fishing the end of July. Just the weeds are just ridiculous.
You got your mayfly hatches and stuff that slow the walleyes down, and the
Right.
smallies will
Yeah.
slow down on that. But the pike, it doesn't seem to affect at all. So
Nothing affects a pike.
No.
They'll
Right.
eat anything
Yeah.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So how do people find out more about you and book a trip?
Yeah.
I have a Facebook page, Minnesota Fishing Encounters, and there will be a new website that's getting developed right now, and another one that will be up here shortly. So on Minnesota Fishing Encounters Guide Service.
Awesome.
So
And-
Facebook and the website.
Yeah. Or give us a call at the MDHA office and we can hook you up too.
Yeah, or stop in. We got a flyer right out front.
Yeah, we do.
Speaking of which, you're running a promotion for MDHA members.
Yes, you get 20% off. It would be roughly $100 off of this year's prices. So
Just for being a Minnesota
Yep,
Deer Hunters
exactly.
member.
Right.
I support you guys wholeheartedly and love the
That's a
organization.
great investment.
And
Yeah,
even if
that's
you're not
awesome.
a member, $35 to become a member, get $100
Save
off your
$100
guided
bucks.
trip.
Exactly.
Boom.
You're at-
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it that way.
Right. You
Right.
come up, you want to go fishing, you call Craig, join the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, $35.
Yep.
You're saving $70.
65.
65.
But still.
I like to exaggerate.
Yeah.
I wasn't even.
I
gonna
always
do the
round
math.
up, okay?
Yeah.
You're looking and say 90.
Oh, Mr. Kansas, he doesn't know how to do math.
I was lost on the 100 and then 20% and then 35.
Oh.
I was so
It's
confused.
okay.
word problems.
Can we go back to talking about Power Rangers now?
It's like, who do we call?
I don't know how many coconuts Jimmy needs.
All I know is I'm freaking hungry.
Right.
And I want to go fishing.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. I want some pike.
I'm getting anxious. Oh, and I did look it up. Muskie opens June 7th this year.
Okay.
So
Roughly
it's,
a month
it's about
later.
a full month late.
Is that the same time as Bass or is Bass?
Bass
is 20th.
is the 10th this year.
Oh,
It
really?
starts on the same as opener.
Oh, yeah. They changed
Was that last year too? Did it open up the
No,
same time?
it was
no.
2 weeks later last
Okay.
year.
So this
Right.
is the first year it's open the
I
same.
believe so.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Good.
Yeah.
We better
Because-
check all the rest of the regulations out,
Right,
too.
right.
know.
Don't take anything we say to heart.
Yeah.
Look it up
Read
yourself.
your
Yes.
reg book. Yeah.
Yes. They're free. They're everywhere.
And
Go
they're
get a
hard
red
to
book.
understand.
Right. Good luck.
Dude, yeah, that's tough.
But at least read, what is it, page 28, I believe?
Right. On
Page
the regs.
28 is your season dates and possession limits and
Yeah.
all that.
So
So,
you're talking to the conservation officer. Do not quote us.
yes. Well, Down the Barrel said I can keep any fish I want.
And I can catch him or shoot him, whatever.
Right.
You know.
It's
Killed
just-
it a dynamite.
Jared said to sight fish with a 12 gauge.
He said it was cool. Come on. I don't see what the problem is.
Right. No, I used to work at this education center out in Colorado. We had 2 ponds on the property, and one was stocked with brook trout. But there was this groundskeeper person way back in the day that had released a couple of his pet goldfish into that pond, and they just proliferated. There's just goldfish everywhere. And so it was one of our favorite staff bonding activities to go down there with some 12 gauges and try to get rid of those invasive goldfish. And it was pretty fun.
That's creative.
That would be fun.
That's creative.
You know,
So how big did these goldfish get?
they were big.
Yeah,
They were very big.
They're a type of carp species, I
Yeah.
believe.
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should've
So
come up
do you do any night fishing? I mean, once again,
Yes, especially I pull cranks after dark for walleyes. I
Okay.
get some of the biggest fish that way, and I get smallies and muskies doing that.
that would be. I've never. Well, can't say never. I have, and all I know is thank God for GPS on my depth finder, so I could, and especially coming back into federal through the channel. Boy, that was tough. But I didn't do that good. I got eaten alive by bugs. I was like, this is annoying. Then when I got back to landing, it was even worse. Like, this is it. I'm never going out at dark again because I was covered in mayflies on the way back in the spotlight. And then I got back to shore. It's like, this is nope, not doing it.
Mayflies don't eat much.
Oh man, they just crawl on you and it's horrible.
Oh, you got to get past that.
Okay.
Oh man, and put a net around my head.
grow a pair, would you?
Yeah. Seriously. Have you ever been outside?
Yeah, I've been outside.
Turn off your Nintendo every once in a while and go see a
least
tree,
twice.
Dean.
Yeah.
Freaking bugs.
Yeah, you got tarantulas in Kansas. Don't tell me. Don't say
Bow
anything.
hunting, I had deer ticks, like 14 of them on me last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 of them stuck.
Yeah, give me mayflies any day of the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over ticks, yeah, and skeeters. I'll take mayflies. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. They just land on you.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing on you, but
I don't know either.
You wouldn't know what they're doing.
If you're hungry, just open your mouth.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that is not hard.
Right.
Yeah.
true
Gross.
story.
Well, anything else you want to add?
Want people to know, folks to know. When's that website going to be live?
Hopefully soon here. We're working on it right
Okay.
now as we speak. So my wife is. She better be. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah, I just bought DeWalt.
Whatever's good enough.
She's home working. I bought DeWalt tools for boots for the chicken barn that we have.
There you
A lot
go.
of them too for work.
There you go.
So Minnesota Fishing Encounters Guide Service.
Yes.
Look them up.
Yeah, be a great day of fishing on Leech. You'll catch pretty much anything you want.
Minfish right now, actually, they're auctioning off a couple trip, or at least one trip for me right now.
Are they?
So that's on Minfish on their website.
Oh, really?
They have an auction when they're giving. There's a bunch of trips and stays that at a discount rate. So if anybody's interested in that, it's not just me, but it's a bunch of other guides and other resorts and stuff with stays. You could save some places probably half the money.
Wow.
Yeah, I did
and
see
it goes
that.
to a good cause.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's the cause?
Minfish.
Minfish, they like last year alone, I think they put $38 million into landings and piers for fishing.
That's
They
awesome.
put out quite a bit of money.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
That's what the MDHA is going to be here one of these years as we work on it.
Right. I don't think we do landings, though, do we?
No, but
we might have.
duck landings. For deer landings. He's like, so they're duck-haunted.
I was just looking at Jared because he's a duck hunter. I was like,
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming in, and we are looking forward to a good day of, let's not even say fishing, a good day of catching
Yeah.
Catching? Yeah.
out on Leech.
Right. And if nothing else, we'll get some mud bugs.
Go find some crawfish.
Right.
If we get nothing else, you'd be the first guys to ever accomplish that.
All right.
Wow.
Never
Don't-
should be again.
Don't
John's
put it past
accepted.
us.
No.
Do not put it past us.
Oh,
We have Dean.
it's
Exactly.
Hey, I have never once in my life gone fishing without catching something. Most of the time, it's a buzz.
Right?
True story.
I also do offer with my guide service follow boats, where if you have a big group of people, you could bring another boat to follow along. So you
Okay.
can
Oh,
several
cool.
people in that as well. So
Nice.
Yeah, that's good to know.
breaks down the rate a little bit too, so they don't have to pay as much.
Right.
So
What about just kind of a towboat, just a little boat, so that way when the other guy gets annoying in the fishing boat, we can chuck him in the back.
Well, you could have a follow boat and just put them in there too.
There you go.
Next thing you know, it's just me and one other person.
Right.
Yeah, more likely.
It'll be like us three in the
just be
follow
you.
boat. You guys got to bring your own follow boat.
That's what I was thinking. He would just tow us.
Yeah. I hope your boat's not near as fast as my 52-mile-an-hour boat.
No.
You guys follow me in the dark.
We're going to test that 52 miles an hour.
I don't think we're getting 52 with us in there.
You'd be surprised. I'm going to lay down on the front of that baby. Aerodynamic.
King of the world style.
Right? Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. It was
Thanks for
great.
having me.
Yeah, it's always a hoot talking to you, Craig.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll get this out, and
Yeah, this will air before opener.
yeah, I think it'd be cool.
And I
It'd
know
be a
you're
good one.
booked up, but hopefully we can hook you up with some fishing trips.
That'd be awesome.
I
That'd be
think
awesome.
we're definitely going to plan a trip.
Yes.
So that way
Yeah.
we can even do it, on the boat would be kind of cool.
Right.
And then end of season, maybe we'll see how the season went,
Right.
anything like
Right.
that.
Let's talk
Sounds
about
good.
ice fishing a
And
bit
we
more.
can talk about bow hunting because
Yeah,
we're
that's right.
going
I'll probably
Getting a bow
invite you guys a few times throughout the year if I'm not busy.
Well, I would
Friends
take
with
us
me.
on once. Take us on
Well,
once.
we'll try it.
Then say that.
Yeah. Don't commit
I've
to
dealt with a
anything
lot
until
of
you're
people
sure.
and kids and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, don't get us wrong. We'll go as many times as you let us.
Right. As many times as you have it, which may be once.
Yes. It may be half of one.
Might be half a day. I'm like, okay, guys, we're done.
Yeah. Oh, looky
I'm
there.
really
my-
not feeling too good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My boat won't drive any further than the dock.
Yes, that's crazy. I just
Awesome.
got a call.
I gotta go.
This is the president. I'm gonna have to take this.
Get out.
No, we appreciate it, Craig. And as always, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Perfect.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association has been building our hunting and conservation legacy over the past 40 plus years through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation in Minnesota for Minnesota.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association and Wolf Dot Report proudly sponsor this podcast. However, please note that the opinions, topics, and guests featured may not necessarily align with the views, beliefs, goals, or mission of our sponsors.